so I saw this on Twitter. Okay, the playoffs are set. Okay, so Minnesota Lynx are going to be going against the Golden State Valkyries in the first round. The Phoenix Mercury will be going against the New York Liberty in the first round. The Las Vegas Aces will be going against the Seattle Storm in the first round. And finally, the Atlanta Dream will be going against the Indiana Fever in the first round. Okay, so that's the matchups. For those who were curious about the scheduling of these matchups, here it is. Here it is. It is official. It is official. And as I've mentioned, I will be covering the playoffs and stuff. I do not watch Indiana Fever basketball unless they play my team. So I'm not anticipating covering them in the playoffs. So I'm just going to say that. But everyone else I'll cover pretty much if I catch the game. So I kind of just wanted to talk really quickly about, who do I favor in these matchups, okay? Because I think this is an interesting conversation. So for the Minnesota Lynx and the Golden State Valkyries matchup, I definitely favor Minnesota in this matchup. We are 4-0 against them in the regular season. They very much are a team that lives and die by the three, and, against us and in general, bro, that shit, it's not going to work continuously, okay? I just don't anticipate them being able to beat us, okay? Even if they have great shooting days from three, you have to still keep up with us defensively and in the paint, and, it's just so many things. Minnesota can be down, but we will find a way in that third or fourth quarter to come through, okay? We beat them in the regular season. And apparently, they said during the last game that Natalie doesn't want to show everything for the playoffs. And we'll see what she's got up her sleeve for the playoffs. You have that. You also have the fact that they do have some injuries with Kayla Thornton and the Tip Hazer out. So, that's unfortunate. You wish them the best to heal up and everything. I don't know. We'll see if Dejanay comes back for us. She could definitely be helpful as well. We won the last game without Dejanay. But I favor the Minnesota Lynx in this matchup. And now we go to the Phoenix Mercury and we go to the New York Liberty. Now, this one is kind of tricky for multiple reasons, actually. I'll start off with New York. I guess the thing that bothers me with the New York Liberty, as I've said in my reviews, is the fact that they just don't give effort 40 minutes at a game. That's my huge problem with this team. They decide in the second half of the game to start carrying, and there's just no way that you can win a basketball game when you start carrying in the second half. We've seen this happen multiple times when you look at stuff. Like the Wings game, they almost came back, but again, it wasn't enough. They sold, they fouled, they did that. And then you look at the game, against the Sparks, where they did not care to play defense in the first half, and again, they made it close. They still didn't win the game. The game against the Valkyries, a similar thing, and they only lost by 10 because they wanted to, make the loss not look as bad as it was. But when you just don't give full effort and you don't compete for the full 40 minutes of the game, you're going to get beat. So that's a problem that I've seen. The defense is kind of shaky as well. I'm not loving the defense and the effort for that, leaving open space in the paint for layups to get hit on you and stuff like that. I just don't like that as well. The coaching and standings rotations, I think, are just terrible. If you're looking at what is going on, Natasha Cloud, I just don't like when she leads the offense and stuff. And people said that Sabrina is going to be playing point guard more for the playoffs, and I'd hope so, because I really don't like what I've seen for Natasha Cloud this season. If I'm going to be honest with you, Jonquil Jones, be lazy, okay? When she saw she had to post up in the paint and fell down, I'll never get over that. So there's that. Stewie's still kind of working her way back. I saw the stats for the last game. She had a good game, so I'll definitely have to check the highlights because I never miss a Stewie highlight as well. Phoebich hasn't been the best. The streets told me that she's kind of tired, so we'll see what she does in the playoffs as well. I'm trying to think as well for any other starters that they have, and I feel like I covered most of the people on the team at least. We'll see what happens with the bench. You got players was it Rebecca Gardner? I feel like a lot of the Liberty fans tend to like her and her defense as well. Maybe I'm mixing her up with someone else. But I swear they like her or they like KB. One of those two players, they like the defense. So I'd be mixing them two up. It's my bad. So, you could see that come to fruition and everything. I think I already mentioned Izzy coming off the bench as well. I forgot to mention Emma. She's a player that has been really good for the New York Liberty and stuff. She has some games that aren't the best, but usually she can get you 10, 15 points. She can get you some rebounds and stuff. And she plays hard. So they got some good pieces. It's just about them giving effort for 40 minutes of the game, and that's what I'm concerned about, and for the connectivity as a team, okay? When they give their all for 40 minutes, they're a really hard team to beat, and they just have not been doing that the last time that I've seen them. I skipped the Chicago Sky game. I'm talking about the game before that, so That's what I get concerned about the Liberty. They just don't compete for the full game, and then you have the coaching and stuff like that as well. Niara has to come back, so that should help them, but we will see. We will see. I think they got used to a lot of bad habits and stuff, and even though they won that one game against the Mystics, I still wasn't that moved, okay? So those are kind of my problems with the New York Liberty. My problem with the Phoenix Mercury is they're another team who lives and dies by the three, and I've said this before, but I hate those things, okay? It's a similar issue that I have with the Golden State Valkyries, okay? Which, if I didn't say that, I really feel that way about this team. So you have that problem. You have the fact that Satu has been streaky this year. It is what it is, okay? I've only seen Satu myself play 2 or 3 good games. They said she started off the season hot, and, now it is what it is. Kalia Copper, I think, has been their best player. Last game wasn't her best, but I'm sure she'll bounce back in due time. And you got AT, so I feel like Kalia Copper, AT, you're going to lean on them heavily in this run. You got Dewana Bonner, which she can be really good or she can be really bad. It just really depends. Akoa Makani can maybe get you some good stuff as well. Sammy Whitcomb, I'm not really loving what she's giving and stuff. So yeah, AT and Kalia Copper, you're really going to lean heavily on them. And the bench isn't my favorite. I feel like they really have to rely on their starters. Natasha Mack has done some good stuff for them. She's been in the starting lineup. So we'll see. But I don't know. Phoenix is another team. When they're really good, they're hard to beat. When they're really bad, it's bad, okay? Like, I've seen them play some terrible games this season, okay? My Dallas Wings beat this squad, fully healthy, mind you, okay? They had everybody, and we beat them with all rookies. So I don't know. I could see this matchup going either way, okay? And I don't know. Like, Phoenix, it's like, I feel like they have been winning more of their games and stuff recently as well. Like, so you have that. Like, Nate just gave it the last 2 games. Those games don't really count because the playoff seeding was already locked. New York has been kind of streaky, but if New York gives their all for 40 minutes of a game, I could see New York taking this series. So I guess right now I'll say New York, but I could see it going to Phoenix if New York doesn't give 100%. And that's what I'm really concerned about with New York, okay? I had them going to the chip, and the more and more that I watch of this team, I got concerned. And then you look at the Aces and you look at the Storm matchup. The Aces are taking this hands down. I actually feel pretty comfortable saying that. They're on, a 13-game, or was it a 16-game winning streak? Something like that. They're on a huge winning streak. That's the point. Asia Wilson's probably going to collect a regular season MVP. She leads in pretty much every single statistical category. You have those things. Jackie Young has been turning it up. Chelsea Gray has been doing what she needs to do. And so you have those things. Joy Lloyd coming off the bench. Every time you watch Aces game, they talk about how she comes off the bench and how she switch. We get it. Can we get a new storyline? Can I get some new stuff to talk about, please? KB is not good, but, it is what it is. Like, the rest of them are good enough to fill the production that she lacks, okay? Their bench isn't really that strong. Who do they got? They got Dana Evans coming off the bench, which Dana Evans can maybe give you 8 points on a good night show. She's had some good games that I've seen from the box score because I don't really watch Aces like that. Who else did they have at the bench? Gustafson comes off the bench. Sham Parker Tyus, I believe that's her name. She's a back for them as well, so I feel like that's important and worth noting as well. Nalissa, I forgot about her. She's a starter for the team, and I think that she definitely does help this team and stuff with her rebounding, and she can score some buckets, and she does those little plays that don't necessarily show up. So I think they got a good squad. I think they got a good coach in Becky Hammond. The results show for themselves. So I think that they will take this pretty comfortably. If we're looking at the Seattle Storm, their Achilles heel is really their 3-point shooting. It's just terrible, and then their bench is really, really bad. It's probably one of the worst benches in the WNBA, if you let me tell it. And I don't know. It's like they put together some good stuff, but they're just too inconsistent for me. Skylar, I don't know. We'll see what she does for this playoff run. She can be really good, and then there's other games where it's just not great. I think NECA's probably been their most consistent player, so they'll probably lean heavily on NECA for this playoffs run. I like Gabby Williams a lot, so she could do some good stuff. She's kind of like really defense, I would say. But Gabby can give you some points. Gabby can give you like 10, 15 points, on a good day. So Gabby can do some things. Erica Wheeler has put up some good stuff for them as well. Dominique Malunga has been a huge player for them. So they got some really solid players. They're just really relying on their starting players more than their bench. Their bench is just really dreadful. So you get concerned about those things, the inconsistency, the 3 ball is not good. The Aces have these things figured out in a more meaningful way. So I would take the Aces in this matchup. And if we look at the Atlanta Dream versus the Indiana Fever, I would give this to the Atlanta Dream. I believe I've heard various things about this matchup. I think Atlanta's won some. I think Indy's won some and everything. I think one of the reasons why Atlanta wins this matchup is just because you have more health of the players, right? You got Alicia Gray. You got Ryan Howard. I believe Jordan in Canada is to be back. You got Brianna Jones, etc. So just more health of the players and stuff. Carlos Semesco, better coaching and all that stuff. Fever's really decimated by injuries. CC out. Sophie Cunningham out. A lot of players are out and everything, and I think that that they will be a first round exit, just due to the sheer amount of injuries. If everyone is healthy, I think that this matchup would be different. But yeah, like I said, I will not be covering this matchup specifically because I don't cover the Indiana Fever unless my team plays them. But that's kind of my 2 cents on all these matchups and everything. Of course, it comes down to execution. It comes down to coaching. We will see what happens. I will be covering the playoffs and everything, so follow my account to see more. But let me know what you guys think of these matchups.